This educator podcast is the best in the West for K-8 strategies for Gen Alpha teachers. Whether you are a baby boomer, exennial, millennial, or Gen Z, if your students were born after 2010, you'll want to follow and tell a friend. You remember back in the day where when you would go to school or leave from school, you would just go with your friends, some of your classmates, or even by yourself, just because of the safety. Moms and dads, they won't worry, okay, even if they're going 5 minutes or 20 minutes away, that they wouldn't get snatched up by kidnappers. Yeah, those were the days, man. See, after school, I would go to this place called the Police Athletic League or the rec center, and there were gentlemen there waiting to say, hello, how are you doing? Come on, do your homework. All right, then let's play. But then on 2 of those days, I actually went to karate. All right, I learned some self-defense. I was a skinny dude. All right, anybody skinny? If you were skinny back in the day, go ahead, type in was skinny, not anymore. And so with that, I learned some karate. And after a few years of karate, actually, I didn't get any bigger, but one of the officers at the Police Athletic League, they became my football coach for 3 years. I wasn't a wide receiver. I wasn't definitely not a running back. But guys, I happened to be the center of the team. You know, the center is usually a big chunky guy. Not me. But I learned the techniques, the skills, so that even today I'm able to teach the students or other people that are learning, hey, this is how you snap a ball properly. If you really want to be a QB, then show me how you snap a ball. If you can throw it between your legs, you can throw it in midair. And I am often thinking about what happened. What was different about me? How I grew up in the ghetto. How I grew up, maybe not in the ghetto for a lot of the time. I was nearby a lot. The ghetto, we were on the outskirts. But how could I grow up in that situation? How could I grow up in a single, raised by a single mom, and still be, in a sense, sheltered, still be clean, still not have a lot of the vices or go through some of the experiences that others my age, others in my same neighborhood went through? First of all, God and God alone, but then also, guys, the men that were in my life. And I didn't celebrate Father's Day because my biological father wasn't there at that time. I wish that there was just a way to celebrate all the men that were positive role models in my life. See, people see me as a positive role model, but I'm thinking, who are the ones in my life? And even though there wasn't 1 or 2 main people, there were a lot of sprinkles that really helped me in order to become the way that I am. If you're thinking the same thing, hey, I would love to celebrate those male role models in my life, especially nowadays where you see that there are few and far between. But when you really take a deep dive, you'll realize, wait, hold on. No, there was that guy, and there was this teacher, and there was that counselor, and there was that rec center provider. There have been people throughout your life. And so this is the time. Hey, happy International Men's Day. Yes. Yeah, it's actually a thing. Happy International Men's Day. C'est la vie, c'est la belle. We'll get back to it. Here, we reverse drain and help you gain victory in the classroom for you to have more quality time at home. Your mind, will, emotions, and spirit will thrive through edifying stories and techniques based on the Word of God. I'm David McDuffie, educator, husband, father, and your teacher retention specialist. Jesus Christ knows what it takes to prep successful routines and procedures. He knows how to manage and differentiate students. Jesus taught with authority, poured out love, but still stated boldly, "It is finished," in the early afternoon. He had victory, and he said, "Truly, you will do even greater works." No cap. Invite Jesus in your heart, the Holy Spirit in your class. He wants every teacher to live more abundantly. C'est la vie, c'est la belle. The objective for today is I can and will celebrate the positive male role models around my school. Let's say it all together. I can and will celebrate the positive male role models around my school. The word of the day, because it is a special International Men's Day session, word of the day, which is actually going to go on and on and on, is everlasting. Everlasting. And the biblical reference for today is 2 Corinthians 4:16 through 18. Now, we wouldn't be this PD session, we wouldn't start it without starting with our affirmation, our declaration. Let's go. Repeat after me. Life Fruit Pledge. I'm victorious in teaching, especially at this time. I'm victorious in teaching, especially at this time. I'm powerful beyond measure if I let my true light shine. Powerful beyond measure if I let my true light shine. Speak life. Bear fruit. My learning is lifelong. Speak life. Bear fruit. My spirit and soul are strong. Spirit and soul are strong. Yeah.
Last teachers at school. Let's get U Sigma in under 25 minutes.
Okay, let's break down these verses real quick. First of all, 2 Corinthians, go ahead, turn to it. 4:16. I'm going to go and read from the Amplified Version. Let's get it. Therefore, we do not become discouraged, which is utterly spiritless. We don't become exhausted. We don't become wearied out through fear. Though our outer man is progressively decaying, we're in a mortal body, and wasting away, yet our inner self is being progressively renewed day after day. Woo! Starting off strong with the verse 16. So it's saying that our outer body is decaying. We are getting older. We're getting, my joints. Put in my joints if you feel that right there. All right. If you're like, dang. All right. For all the dads out there, for all the dads, they got the tube around and they're like, ooh, dang, I can't fit these pants as I once was able to, or the vest or the shirt. Like, oh, dang, I'm going to pop out. Yes, our outer man is decaying and wasting away, but our inner man is progressively renewed day after day. Woo! Loving it. We're going over to 17. But before I hit there, guys, who am I talking to? First of all, everyone. But I want to put a focus on our men today. If there's a man that you know needs this, you go ahead and share it with them, because as a male educator, it's not always easy to make it look easy. It's not always easy to stay strong. It's not always easy to not shout extra loud or yelp or whatever like that. It's not always easy to be calm, cool, and collected. So females who are listening to this, go ahead, tell a male, just any male, it doesn't need to be in education. If you know a man in your life, let him know about 2 Corinthians 4:16, 17, and 18. Boom, we're going to keep on going. Verse 17 says, for our light, momentary affliction, light, momentary affliction. Dang. The situation that I went through a couple days ago, it wasn't light. All right. It may have been momentary. Okay. It may have been just at that time temporary, but it wasn't light. But the verse says, for our light momentary affliction, this slight distress of the passing hour is ever more and more abundantly preparing and producing and achieving for us an everlasting weight of glory beyond all measure, excessively surpassing all comparison and all calculations, a vast and transcendent glory and blessedness never to cease. Hold on. So this momentary situation right here is preparing me for something that's everlasting. It's producing something that will stay everlasting. It's achieving in me an everlasting character. Okay. All right. I got you. I'm going to switch my mindset. Everybody, go ahead. Hit that switch. Especially for my gentlemen. Hit that switch. Light momentary affliction. It is affliction. It is, you are being afflicted. Okay? It may not seem like, but in the grand scheme of things, you're like, oh snap, that was light. I could have done something different in that situation. It was light. It was momentary. Even if it was harsh, it was still momentary. I could have gone ahead and I could have endured a bit longer. I could have been more gentle a bit longer. I could have been more patient a bit longer. I could have had more joy and love and peace in that situation a bit longer. Because I'm not focused on the affliction part. I'm focused on this is light. I'm focused on this is momentary. It soon shall pass. For us, an eternal weight of glory beyond comparison. If I were to go ahead and put my full force and put my whole human in this situation that's happening at school, at home, in the car, at the library, in the grocery store, in the car as I'm driving, if I'm going to put my whole human into this, I am going to miss out on that eternal glory. It doesn't compare. It doesn't compare to what's waiting for me. So I can go ahead and I can think of it as a light momentary affliction. It's still an affliction, but other people go through worse. It is an affliction, but I've gone through worse. It's light. It's light affliction. Even if it's a harsh affliction, it's still momentary. You know what? Hey, this is the worst affliction I've been through, but you know what? It's momentary. Let's turn it up to verse 18. All the ladies in the room, all the women teachers who know a male teacher right now, who this could help so that they continue to be that positive male role model at your school, go ahead, type their name or type the school in the chat on the feedback. Go ahead, type their name or type their school, okay? I want to go ahead and send out messages to these males, letting them know that they have support, that they are not alone. Because even though those men don't show it often, there's times where they feel alone, and there's times where it's just like, dang, I wish there was somebody I can speak to, somebody that I could share certain burdens with, because I feel like it's too much for me. It feels overwhelming right now. Verse 18 is right here. Since we consider and look not to the things that are seen, but to the things that are unseen. For the things that are visible are temporary. They're brief, they're fleeting. But the things that are invisible are deathless and everlasting. There's that everlasting word again. Bam! International Men's Day? What? When? Yeah, the idea of International Men's Day was first proposed in 1992. Yeah, back in that last century. But it was not widely recognized until Dr. Jerome Tillotson revived the initiative in 1999. Yes, right before it turned. He envisioned a day to celebrate men's achievements while also focusing on critical issues like male health, the impact of toxic masculinity, and the importance of nurturing positive male role models. Since its inception, the observance has grown into an international movement with celebrations, discussions, and awareness campaigns, which are held in multiple countries. And so the theme for 2024 is Men's Health Champions. Men's Health Champions. Mental health, physical health, spiritual health. It is a call to action focusing on improving men's overall health and well-being, celebrating individuals and organizations committed to reducing health challenges faced by boys and men. And the theme emphasizes physical, social, emotional, and spiritual wellness while encouraging communities to support men's health initiatives. It encourages actions like promoting healthier lifestyles, providing better access to health care, and fostering supportive environments where men can thrive. So you may be thinking, oh, wow, okay, this podcast does that. Yes, I'm a male educator, and I understand that the main thing that I have is my experiences, Jesus Christ and the Holy Spirit in my classroom, and the impetus, the grounding, the roots of this podcast is to make sure that, as it said on the bottom, that men are encouraged in communities, that they have support in those teaching environments so that men can thrive. Because if the men in your school and school community, if they thrive, then that class thrives, then that grade thrives, then that those grades, that part of the school, that part of the campus, and the whole school community thrive when men are able to thrive. Do you want to build up children to only have half of what they were supposed to develop in? No. When we talk about our classes, we focus on math and ELA. We focus on the English language. We focus on the reading and the comprehension. But we also focus on the mathematical side, the logical side, the analytical side. If we just focus on one portion, then they are not going to be fully prepared for life. And that's the same thing with more men within your school community. There are boys at the school, but even the girls, they need that impact of having positive male role models. Yes, it's very, extremely helpful for the gentlemen. But once again, positive male role models are good for the staff. And like, not just the children, it's good for the staff. And also good for those parents. Some of the parents, they didn't have positive male role models. But then they come to the school and they see, wow, that's a powerful teacher. Whoa, he's a great coach. Oh, wow, look at that administrator. He's just doing good things. I wish that I found a guy just like that. I wish I had a male role model in my life like that. And because of certain things that he's doing and the way that he's doing it, the families in your community, they thrive too.
Check for understanding.
The objective for today was we can and will celebrate the positive male role models at our school. And one of the key words in those passages, and which is our word of the day of the week, is everlasting. This means lasting forever and also lasting for very, very long time. Here's some synonyms, all right, not to be confused with synonyms or cinnamon. These are some synonyms: without end, eternal, never ending, endless, perpetual, undying. So, not dying, not ceasing, never ending, without end. Like, if you knew about everlasting, you know that the opposite of everlasting must be end. Something that ends, has a finish, has a termination. So, as we move on up, we know that we are here for a purpose. Usually, the men at your school, they start there because they have an endless mission that they want to fulfill within your school. Yes, it's great to get the money. Yes, it's phenomenal. But I will let you know that if you poll most of the teachers at your school, and well, most of the male teachers, if you ask them, truthfully, most of the teachers, if you ask them, are they there just for the money? Then they would say no. There is going to be some type of mission connected with the reason why they are there. Yes, the ladies are there and they have a mission as well. But just it's in the male makeup where they are at a place to solve a problem. They feel as if there's a need that needs fixing. There's something, a gap, a valley, a low point in that organization where if they come in, especially at nonprofits, especially at schools, not-for-profits, they are there to make a positive change and impact that is, that E word, everybody say it, everlasting. From your teacher retention specialist right here, here are just a few of the many ways that you could not only harness the mission and the inner power of your male teachers and male staff members, but also attract some more positive male role models from the community into your school. Number one, there's a real need for him. See, most men are mission driven with connections. If they feel valued, they will invest monies, times, just their connections, and engage in more inner characteristics than they even knew that they had. See, a lot of times you'll have men coming to the schools right when they're coming out of college, university, or even high school, or they've worked in other fields, they worked in other businesses, and then they're transitioning over. But the only reason why, maybe not the only reason, but the main reason why they would come to the school is because they see that, oh, you know what? There seems to be a real issue here. There seems to be a place where I can place my qualities, my know-how, my skills, my talents or personalities, and it can actually make a long-lasting, everlasting impact on this community. So, when they are undervalued, disengagement occurs. Right now, teachers, if you're thinking about one or two teachers, go ahead. Those are going to be the first two that you talk to. See, this is what I've heard before. There's no point in sharing ideas or doing extra work. Unless the man's integrity is strong, most can usually find a way to cut corners every bit so that they can focus their energy on what truly is his passion or where he will be able to make an impact. As a husband, as a Christian male, black educator who is also a husband and a father, I'll let you know there were months in my marriage where I actually spent more time at school and spent more mental space time, more during the weekend time, focusing on how can I make my school life better. How can I make my students and the families at school better than my own family? Because truthfully, I didn't feel as if at home anything I said would go ahead and make a positive difference. And after a certain point, I got to the point where I was just like, you know what? Hey, I'm going to just come in and come out. If anything I say or anything I do, it's going to make things worse or it's not going to produce a positive effect, well, then I'll just disengage. And so I don't want men to do that, but that's just how it is. So at your school, if you have a real need for him, or if you can share certain areas, hey, you know what, we see this, maybe you would be good. Would you be interested in holding that position? Or would you be interested in doing this club or coaching this team or, helping with this committee, organizing this PD, just different things around the school, especially for your men. Okay, just ask. Don't tell, but just ask. All right. They may see something, a glimmer, and say, you know what? Yeah, you know what? Oh, you see that in me? I have those skills? Okay. Yeah, I'll go ahead and try it out. A great opportunity can transform into just a paycheck with too many rejections. Like I stated, with at home, it can happen the same thing for in the workplace, at school. If you're rejecting certain ideas that the man has in order to impact the school in a better way, because it comes from that heart, then hey, after a while he'll just come for the paycheck and not for the opportunity to make that change. Number 2, confirmation. The verbal confirmation, the written confirmation, gifts given, all right? And letting you know, admin, if there's any way that more monies could be given, maybe just in gift cards. I know, some organizations can't give monies, but in gift cards, in a raise in pay, in other opportunities to earn income, that's great, especially for your male teachers. And quality time spent. When there are school events that are for the public, that's cool. But when it's just for the staff, or when on those PD days where you have a feast of people eating together, just talking, making random videos together, or playing a game, or having some type of competition between the staff, that's that quality time where the teachers are in different situations and they don't know the other people even in their same hallway, but because they did this one competition, which is a icebreaker activity or team building activity, they are learning more about the teacher that they've been dooring next to for the past few months. And it's all because of that one team building activity where it's like, oh, wow, they're actually a cool guy. They're actually a cool gal. You know what? Let me go ahead and connect with that person more. All it takes is that confirmation with that quality time. But then with the verbal confirmation, hey, comments are free. If you see something great that's happening with that male teacher, that male staff member, go ahead, let that person know. Oh, hey, I've gotten it multiple times, especially from admin. Admin, every time you go into the room, try to implement this into your routine where you leave a note. It doesn't even have to be on a big thing, a big card or whatever. It could be on a sticky note. But if you already have it planned out where you have the note cards like a size of an index card, and then you have something official on it. You put your name on the bottom. Hey, thank you for allowing me to come into your room. I really like this about your teaching style. You can just keep it positive. You don't even have to talk about the negatives, because I'm letting you know every teacher already thinks about the negatives in the first place. So you could just leave that for the instructional coach or whatever. But admin, when you come in, bam, write a quick note. That picks up spirits. And if that male teacher, even female teachers too, if that teacher is one of those visual learners, one who receives words of affirmation and sees that and keeps that note may stay with them for years, even a decade, because they're like, you know what? I may have had a hard day, but these are some positives and strengths that I have in my classroom, or I've had in my classroom beforehand. So I'm going to keep that up. Ah, boy. You see how just those two things make a positive change, where the male teachers, the male role models in your community are going to say, you know what? Yeah, I want to be at that place. Any current U.S. teachers that want to share how following biblical principles has statistically had large impact on your classroom and or made you a better teacher, email Life Fruit Radio for your interview. We are now recording for the upcoming sophomore year of the podcast. Recap for today. Number 1, there's a real need for that male at your school, in your community, even at home. If there's a real need, bam, he is going to feel more accepted. He's going to feel celebrated, all right, because you're helping towards that need. Boom, you're giving him the confirmation, the written confirmation, verbal confirmation, gifts, quality time. Give him that confirmation. He needs to continue to be that positive male role model, all right? There are times where he's weak, and by somebody letting him know, hey, I loved what you did right there, or because you did that, ooh, that helped me. That confirmation allows him to focus on his strengths rather than his weaknesses.
Whether you are a last teacher at school like my husband was, or have become a Sigma educator like he is now, sharing your brutally honest feedback about this episode will help him serve you better. You can leave your feedback on Amazon Music, Player FM, or Apple Podcasts. The Life Fruit Radio goal for this podcast is to bring teaching victory to 3.2 million U.S. educators. A lofty goal like this does not happen without viewers just like you. So please take 2 minutes to be brutal yet honest so more teachers like you gain victory at home and at school. Thank you in advance, and now back to your PD session.
Hey, it's the exit ticket. The exit ticket. The exit ticket. Teachers, get ready. Hey, folks. The exit ticket. I know you got to go to your classroom, but hit this exit ticket. Teachers, you know what time it is. And time to show that mastery. You know what time it is. I'll try my best, then type complete. Remember how it was back in the day as a student? For the special holidays or appreciations, teachers would get that colored paper out with the markers, with the sprinkles, with the glitter, and the other special things for thank you cards, all right? For the people that you are grateful for, like Mother's Day or Christmas or some holiday. This is similar, except don't do that for the male role models at your school. Please don't. That's beta, for real. It's not alpha. Especially not Sigma. Educator. So, the exit ticket for today is to implement 2 of the strategies that we shared today. Share what you did. Type it out on the Life Fruit Radio Facebook page. The link is in the show notes below. What you did and the result. Go ahead. Write it out. It warms your heart to know that there are still deliberately kind people in the world. It does. You whippersnappers, now get at it and type complete. Are you always on the go like me, like I am right now? But you're thinking there has to be a place where I can have rest. I'm too busy and not productive. Well, you don't have to look any further. See, what happened is I brought it up to God. I prayed about it, and He gave me certain steps, certain strategies that I could use so that I would be able to have that rest, so I'll be able to have that peace. First of all, I thought I was searching for more money. I thought I was actually searching for a higher credit score. I thought that I was searching for certain things that I really wasn't. And once I got in line with him and aligned with some other males who were able to talk through certain issues of mine, I was able to get better, not just at school, but at home, which is the most important. And since I've been better with my wife, communicating with her on certain things, she's helped me through certain things that I felt was only for my friend to do. I'm telling you, I have so much peace. I have so much rest. And yes, I drive around, but it's not driving around because I'm busy. I'm actually being productive with the time that I'm taking. If you want to be a part of that, go ahead, email lifefruitradio@yahoo.com. Then we'll be able to set you up into the Teaching in Victory accountability call. Get that rest. Email lifefruitradio@yahoo. And now, back to your PD session. The last thought of the day is connect with someone mentally and connect with someone spiritually. There's certain people in your life where you're like, bam, you could go thought to thought, idea to idea. Y'all could debate back and forth, and it'll be a good, thriving atmosphere because you're actually thinking about things. You're creating things. Your mind gears are moving. But also, you got to connect with somebody with your spirit. Yes, you're connecting with your higher power, God, Jesus, whatever you believe. But I want to let you know, if you are just connecting vertically and not horizontally spiritually, then there's going to be a stoppage in the flow. Because in the word it says, love God and love people. And so it's good to speak with God, but also speak with other people about God. All right? Hear what's happening through somebody else's life with the same God. You got me? Trust, I know how it is. 2 weeks back, I went to a speaking conference, Captivate. Shout out to Suzanne Evans. But even though there was much I gained within the business, I had a nagging worry. I was feeling on the third day that I didn't have enough. I didn't have enough money, didn't have enough time. I shouldn't be in debt. It just brought back feelings that I hadn't had in a while because I had been at a new level of peace. But it didn't come back until I started meditating on the things that more or less this conference was trying to sell me, you know? And so with that, I started to get a little bit of hope, but then I lost it because have you ever had a bill collector call at the wrong time? And you're just thinking, you know what? Yes, I could do this and this. And then the bill collector calls and it reminds you of those faults. It reminds you of the doubts you have. It reminds you of your failures. See, that's what happened. And then I just sort of went into a spiral later that day because I felt like I was doing all the right things, but it wasn't getting to the results. And I was reminded by my partner that, hey, have patience. You're doing the right things. Just have patience, because it will be better in the end. Just like the verse stated, we are focused on those things that are unseen, because the things that are seen are temporary. The things that are unseen are the eternal things. What? Oh my goodness. Prep period's over already. Remind me to share the rest next time, though. C'est la vie, c'est la belle.